Good morning. This is Norma Cowie for A Sunday Thought. Sometimes I spend quite a bit of time thinking about what is pertinent, what is important to talk about for my Sunday Thought. And the last couple of days, I have just finished, well, actually yesterday I finished up a psychic development course. But before that, I began thinking about acceptance. And I thought, I do talk about acceptance quite often. And I find it's really important that we accept different things, different varieties. But this one had a little bit of a different tone to it. It talked about acceptance and then forgiveness, and they came together. And so I began to think about, okay, how do I put that together? Acceptance is an important element for us because very often especially today, we have people with different ideas, different beliefs, different attitudes. And it's as though the world right now is dividing into basically have and have not kind of thing. And how do we accept that? How do we come into an awareness of that? And what I have found is acceptance is a very complicated thing often for many people because we get stuck in our need to be right. We must be right. And our ideas, our concepts are right, and that other person's therefore must be wrong. That's not necessarily true. It just means that you have a perception of what is right for you. And so there's an acceptance even in that this is my belief at this moment. But I have discovered very often I've had a thought or a belief or an attitude, and then I have found that I was not correct, that actually with a little bit more information added in, I got to change my mind on things. I got to take a look at different ways. And I must say, in my metaphysical studies in the psychic world, many things changed over the years as I learned and grew and experimented and did lots of different things. So what is the bottom line of when we get rigid about having to accept a new concept or a new piece of information? I used to say that very often when a piece of information came in that I wasn't quite with, I would put it in file 13, which basically in an office, that's the garbage can, except it wasn't the garbage can. I just put it back over there until I got more information. There were many topics I did that with. Not sure about that, but I just wanted the information at hand. So it was kind of in a file folder, you could say, over there. But what I also have found is that very often this need to be right also comes because we need to be in control. Now, when we need to be in control very often, what that means that deep down we're afraid we might be wrong. You know, one of the elements I teach a lot of is about isness. It just is, and you get to decide what you want to do with that isness. And that takes away the need to be in control and the need to be right. It's a matter of like, what this is what it is, because things change, many things change. And the other element that I became very familiar with, not only for my own life, but for others, was forgiveness. You see, when we can accept that other people have a different idea, instead of taking a thing that we're right and we need to be in control of the rightness and you're supposed to look or think or feel the way I am, you accept this is their viewpoint. Now, if you're in big judgment, because judgment comes in there too, like we said, where do we get that we need to be right and that we are right? Then this is, and we need to be controlled is because we're judging the other person. We're judging this thought. We're judging this belief. And so what I found very often, especially in personal relationships, and of course, this is the love month of February, so I'm sure I'll be talking about love in 1 week from now. But forgiveness. And where I find many people, I'm groping for words, but I'm going to say it this way, often make a mistake because we're often taught forgive others. I have found personally, and so have people that have worked with me or studied with me, if you forgive yourself first, if you forgive your part in it, then it's easy to forgive other people. Because no matter what happens, no matter what state that you're in, you need to be able to forgive you because you're part of it. And you may not know how rigid, you may not know how controlling or how much the need to be right is really there. So it's twofold when we have a situation come up. First is the acceptance of the situation, and then to forgive yourself part of it if it's affecting your life. We have loads of things we believe and we just accept this is the way it is for us. But it's when we get that right thing, it's God, I need to be right. I need to be in control. It has to be my way. When we get that rigidity, then really you've got to take a look at yourself and say, what is it that you're afraid of? And forgive yourself for taking such a stand. Forgive yourself, be more loving, be more open, be more accepting in the whole element of where you're heading and where you're going. So that's my Sunday thought. That's about first to accept things as they are, watch your need to be right and in control. And when it comes to forgiveness, you forgive yourself for being part of it. Forgive yourself for being so rigid. Forgive yourself for basically what we find is fear underneath all that. Because maybe we just need to open up our viewpoints a little bit more and make it wider and make it more effective in so many ways. So I trust that'll give you some food for thought this coming week. Just remember, tomorrow night, Monday night at 7, I do have my mental mind treatment, and you can phone in and chat with me, whatever it is that's worrying you. Maybe there is some acceptance that needs to be done or forgiveness work as well. And then, of course, I'll be back Wednesday for Norma Talks. You have a great day, and thanks very much. Bye now.